Sterling Holmes with Fansided, joined now by the host of the Up and Adams show and betting superstar, Kay Adams. Kay, how are you?
I'm amazing. I can't believe the Super Bowl is here, and I can't believe it's the Chiefs and the Niners.
I will say this too to everyone listening. Fans can tune in and see Kay Adams as the host of this year's P&G Battle of the Paddles, streaming live from Las Vegas on Overtime Season YouTube channel beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, February 7th. Tell us more about this, Kay.
Okay, it's going to be so much fun. So it happened last year for the very first time. P&G, your favorite brands, they're the official locker room products of the NFL. So your Gillette's, Tide, Old Spice, Head and Shoulders, they bring together 8 wild superstars and they put them in a table tennis tournament, and there's trash talking. This is going on for like weeks before the event happens, so it's happening right now. And it's like, you gave the date, you gave where to watch it. It's on Overtime Season's YouTube page live. I'll be there. I don't even know, keeping people apart from each other or like stirring the pot. You tell me, Sterling, what you think I should do. But there's a chance for some serious bragging rights here. We both know how important that table tennis is in NFL locker rooms across the league. And now 8 of the best are going to get to play, and then all the fans get to watch. I can tell you, Trevor Lawrence will be there. Saquon Barkley is so competitive. He's going to be there. Jamal Williams, who I love, is going to play as well. And there's actually going to be 8 players. I'll tell you some more of them as we head towards the event. But Trent Taylor won last year. He's so good at table tennis, and he will be there as well, defending his crown.
How's your game? You pretty good?
No, I'm not. No,
That's why you're hosting.
I'm hosting. That's. I know my lane, my friend. They're going to come over and talk to me. I'm going to get the soundbite, get it out there, make some news, and really enjoy it, and maybe take some notes or a lesson or two.
When you look at how the Chiefs got into the Super Bowl, I sit back and wonder, have we been getting punked? Like, I feel bamboozled. It's hoodwinked. Like, they just all of a sudden turn it on once the playoffs come around. Were they hustling the NFL? Do they have this little secondary gear where the regular season doesn't mean the most to them? Because this is a complete 180.
So on Up and Adams, Gronk joins me every Wednesday. We call it Gronk Day. And this one was special because we were together. This is just this week. And he was off no sleep. He took an overnight flight to New York to meet me. Long story short, he was, loosey-goosey. But when someone's loosey-goosey, they're more honest. And his take was, I think that it's like being a really smart kid in class and getting bad grades because you're bored. You need to be challenged. And he thought that maybe the Chiefs team, and I don't know if he might be speaking from his Patriots experience or whatever that was, but what that might have looked like. But his theory seems to be, and it's interesting, that maybe this team, and we have seen over the years, they play down to poor competition. They let bad teams hang around in these weird one-score games perennially, that maybe they weren't challenged enough and then they rose to the occasion. I would just say that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid adjust better than anyone, or as well as anybody ever has. And they were able to find ways to make the game more manageable and limit those turnovers. And it might just be as simple as that. And it sounds simple, but I mean, Sterling, for Patrick Mahomes, who can put it all on his shoulders, to not have to do that, to let his defense carry him, to let the game come to him, to just protect the ball, for him to admit, I'm Alex Smithing this, I'm managing the game, can't be easy from a discipline perspective. He was able to do it. Lamar Jackson was not, and here they are.
Yeah, because that's what I was taking away in that second half. It was a guy who goes, I'm going to reel it back in. The only chance the Ravens have of winning this game is if I make a turnover, if I make a mistake. Oh. And all these people, I feel like, are getting on Mahomes for the second half and the lack of numbers, if you will. But I think it was an actual effort they made to say, we're going to run the clock out. Lamar ain't making the plays and we'll win the game. And it almost gave me, as a Chiefs guy now, way more respect for Tom Brady. It gave me more respect for Tom Brady when I'm sitting here going, check down, it's check down. But then I'm sitting back going, well, that wins games. You don't always have to make the phenomenal play, make the smart play.
Well, the problem is when you have to put too much on your shoulders, then you become Lamar Jackson. When they abandon the run and they force him to put more on his plate, that's when things go badly. Think about all the greats that we've listened to. You mentioned Tom Brady. I'm talking about the Jeters, the GOATs of our game. When they talk about greatness, they mention doing consistently what I've done over and over again, even when the clock's running out, the scoreboard's going crazy, whatever. It's just being this, reeling it in, right? That's what the greatest in the game do. Patrick has honed in on this. It can't be easy because he knows he can do more. He can no look the blank out of it whenever he wants to. He's not doing that. But you can also only do that when you have great coaching, like Spags has done with that defense. And of course, really what Andy's done with Pacheco and what this whole team's done. Can I tell you the wildest thing about this squad?
I would love to.
Just that Patrick, it sounds dumb. Patrick's the highest paid quarterback. So we're talking about the differences between him and Tom. Tom had a whole salary cap vibe going on. Somehow this team with Patrick, Veach deserves credit here because of the draft picks, like Snead, the 5th rounder, all of that. Like to have the highest paid quarterback, you can't win if you pay break. Yes, you can. Patrick has shown you can win. You can get to the Super Bowl with the highest paid quarterback. How? You got to hit on everything else. And they're doing it. And that should be celebrated leading into the Super Bowl as well. Both teams did it different ways. Look at the Niners. The Niners, they had built their whole thing around Trey Lance, wanted it to work out. Both squads did it differently. There's different ways, but both should be celebrated leading into Super Bowl 58 fireworks.
Yeah, and then going with Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. This is the hot topic all season long. Is people either think he's elite or he's horrendous. There's no one that thinks he's just good. I feel like I'm just sitting here in no man's land. I liken it to Dave Matthews Band, right? You ever listen to people who talk about Dave Matthews Band? It's either that's the greatest band of all time or I can't stand him. That's Brock Purdy. So where do you land on this whole Brock Purdy situation? Is he elite? Is he good? Is it carried by all of his weapons?
More polarizing. Taylor Swift or Brock Purdy?
It's tough.
I don't know. I just thought I'd ask that since you're bringing up Dave Matthews Band and celery and blue cheese and other things people either hate or love, or cilantro.
Blue cheese, by the way. Blue cheese, by the way.
Okay, Kansas City, you just lost me. I will say, with Brock, I don't know. I'm just never that sort of. I'm not going to put my hands down and say, we don't know yet, right? We don't know what Brock Purdy is, other than the fact that he has to get off to a hot start. That's not going to fly against this Chiefs team. Like the question about can the Chiefs put up points? They can. I think we can all agree. Patrick's going to find a way with his 25-year-old all of a sudden tight end again, Travis Kelce. They're going to find ways to put up points. He's going to have to execute out the gate. I come out with he's a great football player. He's made some incredible plays, incredible throws you can point to. The game management of all of it, the Kyle Shanahan of all of it. Kyle Shanahan, when Brock needed to put it all on his shoulders and execute, he did. You can't take that away from him. You can't take the Super Bowl run away from him. And so I don't play in that sandbox of what is he, what needs to happen. I think it's a tremendous story. It's one that I don't understand why we couldn't all be excited and rooting for a guy taken and passed over by team after team after team, making teams look dumb the whole way through. And then he gets to take his squad to a Super Bowl. And I will tell you this, all that matters is not what you think, not what I think, not what anyone thinks. That locker room from somebody who talks to was their a star player, Deebo Samuel, week in, week out, consistent as can be about his faith in that man, in that quarterback, what he can do. And he has shown them that by bringing them here. That's all we need to know.
When it comes to the Chiefs becoming the villains, this has been an interesting transformation because when they won the first Super Bowl against the 49ers, everyone was rooting for Kansas City. It was the level of a bunch of guys who have not won a Super Bowl in 50 years. America was rallying behind Kansas City. Yeah. It's the Midwest team. It's fun. It's Mahomes. It's Andy Reid. But now we're 5 years removed, and it seems like everyone hates the Chiefs. They're tired of them. And now I understand because
I feel bad for you or something.
No. Okay, no. But like as far as them actually being villains, I understand the AFC because Tom Brady reigned for so long. He played until he was 45. Then everyone thinks finally everyone has a chance now. But the baton was passed directly from the Patriots to the Chiefs. The AFC has been run by Kansas City now, but they are the villains. They played the villain role against the Bills. They played the villain role against the Ravens. And it's seemingly they're leaning into this villain role against the 49ers. Do you think that they've handled this transformation well of the hero to the villain?
I don't understand your question. Enjoy it, Kansas City. Quiet. Go eat your pickle. enjoy your Joes, go eat your Z-Man, and be quiet. Enjoy that you're the newly crowned. Like, you don't think the Patriots got hate 3 Super Bowls in with Tom Brady? Of course they did. They became the villain overnight as well. That's just what it is. And you should have laughed that all the way to the bank. You have your Lamar Hunt trophy, kiss that thing and move it along. It's the same. Like this part I don't understand. Are we saying we don't want it? Are we not okay with being the
Oh,
villains?
I love it. I love it. I'm fine with it. I don't care either way.
Let's enjoy it. It's how have they handled it? I don't know. Are they handling it? I don't, this Chiefs team has showed me this year that they can adjust. And I think that's something that might have been a question when it comes to turnovers, overcoming the receivers, Mahomes pressing, whatever it might be. There's none of that distraction. Dispelled, gone, cross the line through that one, delete that one, reboot, and here they are. Like, that's the impressive thing, is the consistency. Doing it as the highest paid quarterback is really impressive. And being the villain, bring it on. You should be the villain. The Patriots were forever, and it did nothing but drive them. And I, by the way, noticed you did not mention the Bengals as a team that the Chiefs have run over and taken care of in the AFC. Thank you, sir.
I know you're correct. It was a half. It was a half. They got the Chiefs. They got it done.
That's what I'm really excited for. I want a healthy Joe. None of this like Peyton Manning, Brady, or Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Like, no, like Burrow and Mahomes. I think we got something. I want to hang my hat on that for years to come.
Thank you. I think it's asinine when people leave Joe Burrow out of the conversation. He is the one guy who's got it done against Mahomes in the playoffs. He deserves his flowers.
Gotta stay healthy.
As far as the most underrated storyline heading into the Super Bowl, I think it's Brock Purdy's legs. Brock Purdy is very underrated when it comes to making off-kilter plays, using his legs to pick up first downs. For you, though, what's the most underrated storyline?
The scrambles are going to have to happen like he did. It was unbelievable. I would say, I don't know, like the pass rush with 4, like, you know, people are complaining or have their things that they want to say about the trade for Chase Young and what that means, reunited with his college teammate, Nick Bosa. Like, they're going to have to really bring it in waves and, you know, deal with some fatigue. They lost Cleveland Farrell, so we had Chase Young out there for a lot of plays, a lot of reps in this in the NFC Championship game. Like, I would like to see him make a play. Super Bowl champion Torrey Smith says he's going to have a big game. They obviously come from the same area, you know, Washington, and then now he's playing in the Bay for a career-defining thing for Chase Young, who's one of the best players in the National Football League. So I think that's super interesting. And I do like on the Niners side, just the Brandon Ayuk of it all. I think he's an underrated, unheralded wide receiver in the mix of so many superstars. So when he makes these big catches on Sunday, I loved seeing it, and I hope that there's more on the way for him.
Do you have a score prediction right now, or are you holding that thing back?
I haven't thought about it. I'm still like, I'm freaking out about the fact that the Lions lost and the Ravens lost the way that they did. Like, I'm still like reeling. So probably not until Thursday or Friday. You know, defensive slugfest. The story about this Chiefs team is the defense. It's about discipline and control and like, you know, keeping the turnovers at bay, but it's really about about what Spags is able to do and generate. And it's amazing with these, I mean, this cornerback duo was the best in the league. And here they are. What a huge advantage to what's on the other side.
And then just since you brought up Dan Campbell and defense, just letting you know, I will be defending anyone who slanders Dan Campbell on Twitter. I'm coming at you. Dan Campbell was aggressive all year long. There is a reason why his aggressiveness got them to the NFC Championship game. You got to die on that hill. I'm okay with it.
Oh no, Sterling, I couldn't disagree with you more. What are you talking about?
Hey, he got to the NFC Championship game by being aggressive.
What did those two have to do with each other? So you got there by being aggressive, and then you just decide to like make a bad decision when you could be up 3 scores. The
48-yarder. It's not. You don't take the points.
Just because you know, I don't even know what I'll have to think of a metaphor. I'm too tired to think of one right now. Just because you do one thing over and over again, and it's, you know, doesn't mean that you have to do it every time. You can be thoughtful about things. My favorite thing about Dan Campbell is that he sort of owned everything and said, this is going to be really hard to repeat and get back to. And he's bringing a realistic level set to the difficulty of this team getting back to where they were. But did he make the right, did we all know he was going to do that? Yes. Does it mean it was the right decision? No.
You know what the right decision is? Tuning in to see Kay Adams
Yeah.
as the host of this year's PNG Battle of the Paddles. Again, streaming live from Las Vegas on Overtime Seasons YouTube channel beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, February 7th. Kay, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. You have a brilliant broadcasting voice. This was a nice chat. Thanks, Sterling.
Thank you.